Hello friends, this is Neha Tulshan from Crescent Creation. Welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. I have a project to share that I made as a guest design team member at Crafting Dessert Divas using their Holiday Hug stamp set. And I'm using this 4x4 inches of canvas that I bought from my local store Michael's. I am gonna use the image of Santa along with the merry and bright sentiment. Using my Misty tool, I'm gonna stamp the images and the sentiment using the archival ink from Rangers. Once done stamping, I will work on the background of the canvas first. I have created a mask for the Santa image using the full sticky post-it note, and I have maxed out the image to work on the background. I really like this full sticky post-it notes. They are really handy and big enough for creating masks for the images. For my background here, I'm using seedless preserve, spiced marmalade, salty ocean and black soot distress oxides, and I'm trying to create a colorful night sky, something like a northern lights that has the northern lights effect in the sky. And to create that colorful effect, I am actually adding spots of colors all over the canvas and later coming in with the salty ocean and black soot distress ink. I'll blend the whole sky to create that colorful night sky look. I also use seedless preserve the stress oxide to add more color at the edges of the canvas to make it more darker from all the four sides. And here I'm coming in with black soot distress oxide to add a more night-like look to the sky. Now I'm using my heat tool to quickly dry the background so that I can work on the image. I also decided to add some stars to my sky, so I have loaded my paintbrush with white paint and I am tapping the paintbrush over the canvas to get a lot of splatters of white paint all over the canvas. This creates a very beautiful starry sky effect which makes this night sky more magical. Now I will remove the mask and color the image using Copic markers. For Santa face, I am using E00, E31 and E33 here. Actually, I thought I'll use all these three colors, but the image is so small and the Santa face is not showing much. I ended up using just E00 and E33 for the skin tone. Now for Santa's clothes, we all know it's supposed to be red. So I started here with R24 and R39. R39 to be my darker color. Started with the hat. I colored the base using R24 and then I started coloring with the R39, but then I felt I needed a little more darker color, so I came in with R89 and then mixed everything and blended everything using R24 and R39. While coloring on canvas, you have to be a little careful. It does not absorb the colors as it does on regular paper, so you have to give it a little time to dry and you have to work accordingly and be patient with it. Here I have colored Santa's cloth and now I'm working on his beard. I thought I'll use C5 and C2 on the beard, but the C2 was dark enough, so I did not bring in C5 for the beard. Well, I know Santa's beard is not gray, it's white, but we need to add a little bit of shadows to bring it to life, or should I say to give it more dimension, and that's where we use the gray markers to add a little bit of shadows to give it more dimension. Now for my reindeer, I'm using E35 and E15 Copic markers. I started with E15 and added shadows all over the reindeer body, but then I wanted it to be a little more darker, so I came in with E18, 1/8 and added more darker shadows and then blended it with E35. Now I'm bringing in E33 and E13 Copic markers to color the lighter parts of the reindeer, like its hair, its mouth, its ears, etc. I also used E35 to add a little bit of darker shadows because the E33 and E13 were quite light. Now for the sleigh, I just used E59 Copic marker and I colored it to give the wooden feel. Now for the bell in Santa's hand, I wanted it to be golden in color. So I used a gold metallic pen from my stash and I just colored it along with the belt and the rope that the reindeer is tied with. I colored all those with the metallic pen. And here I'm using my heat tool to dry it off. Now I'm using my white gel pen to add little bit of whiteness to the beard and the cap of the Santa because it felt a lot grayer than I wanted it to be. So I'm using my white gel pen to white it off. I also used my starry sparkle pen to add a little bit of sparkle to the wings of the reindeer and to the Santa's hat and the bell. Now I'm using my snow marker to add that snow-like effect onto the hat of the Santa. And the way you use this pen is once you have the liquid from the pen on the spot you want it to be, just use your heat tool and heat it up until the liquid bubbles up into fluffy snow-like effect. And for finishing touches, I'm using my white gel pen to add little more stars to the scene. And that's it, we're almost done. I really like the small 4x4 canvases. They're really cute. You can create a bunch of these this holiday season and use them in different ways to decorate your house. And lastly, I stamped the Merry and Bright sentiment again using my archival ink to make it more prominent. Lastly, I colored the edges of my canvas using Distress Black Soot Distress Oxide to give it a clean look. And that's it. A beautiful 4x4 Christmas themed canvas is ready. Thank you for visiting. Have a nice day.